his dad.
Stone, faced with a picture-perfect boxer puncher, is trying to make as ugly a fight out of this as he can. Staying low, staying behind his two gloves, coming in low.
Let him up, let him stop.
Grabbing.
Not punch on the break.
Trying to break the rhythm of Mosley.
Stone able to whack Mosley with a left hook as he bore in.
Quit behind the head.
Through round two. Bunch stat numbers are nothing to write home about. Mosley 28 of 95. Stone 12 out of 92. They've been intermittently finding one shot at a time, but nobody has really put together a 3 or 4 punch combination yet in the fight.
Mosley's been able to land those good left hooks here and there. And let me tell you, they send you back to your corner staggering and a little groggy. Stone's going to make a big mistake thinking he can continuously take those hooks. You got to keep your head moving at all times if you're Stone.
Stop!
What you expect is that sooner or later, Shane will find a way to unload one of those fluid combinations, which finds him landing 3, 4 punches at a time, and that changes a fight.
You love to sneak it in with a hook every now and then to hurt you. Doesn't like to do it all at once. Shane Mosley does. There he is. That's the hook.
Stop!
He'll wait around a minute and a half and do it to you again. Just when you're waiting for it again, he throws the right.
They found something funny in there. We'll have to ask them later what it was.
Hard right hand by Mosley stuns Stone and stops him in his tracks. Shane trying to land two. Another hard right hand. Stone is in trouble. Left hook, and Jay Nady stops the fight. That is a flat-out knockout on a brilliant left hook by Shane Mosley. Dr. Margaret Goodman immediately there to observe Adrian Stone. Mosley froze him with the 2 right hands and then utterly starched him with a brilliant left hook.
All happened behind that initial left hook, though. It stuns you, keep you waiting for another, and then he throws that right hand. He did it all just like out of a book or something.
Another brilliant show.
Now he's strong enough to lift him up.
My response to that is, so what?
Suggested it would be batting practice, and I still say Bonds, McGuire, that kind of batting practice is fun to watch.
You know, he's as good as it gets. You know, Eddie Futch has said he belongs with any of the great old-timers. That's good enough for me. Didn't take him long to solve the awkward style of a fighter who didn't belong in the same class or ring with Shane Mosley.
Now here comes the left hook. 3 or 4 right hands, and then boom. The left hook followed by another right hand at the end, and that's why the doctor jumped in. Too many hard shots uncontested by Mosley. And I don't care how quick the referee is, it's hard to do anything about this.
Boom. That canvas is soft, but it doesn't help much when you're here.
Linebacker. Here comes Hill to begin round 4 against Roy Jones.
There you go.
Virgil Hill is doing a lot of footwork, and when you got the power and the size like that, you got to move forward. You don't need to box.
Harold Letterman, how do you have it scored through the first 3?
Jim, I got it 3-0, 30-27, Roy Jones Jr. Jim, I got to tell you, it's the boxer against the puncher. And unless Freddie Steinweiler is hitting Virgil Hill, somebody's making Virgil Hill's eyes swell up. I'm telling you, Roy Jones is not missing him with that right hand. He's whacking him with it. He constantly throws a right hand lead that lands on the left side of Virgil Hill's head, and it's hurting Virgil Hill. No question. Virgil Hill is popping a jab, but just like Foreman said, he doesn't throw a right hand behind it. So far, it's Jones's power over Hill's jab.
Whoa!
Right to the body, down.
Unheard of. Unheard of.
Only the 3rd time Hill's ever been down. He's holding the kidney area on the right side. knocked out. Roy Jones did it with a right hand to the body.
I've seen it all.
That's one of the few hard body shots I can recall Roy Jones ever throwing, much less ending a fight with.
Unheard of.
Normally not a body puncher.
Didn't he knock out Glenn Wolf with a body shot as well? Long time ago back in Vegas?
Well, I said one of the few. But he never has done it against a world-class opponent that I can recall.
This is a world-class opponent being knocked out by a body shot.
This is one heck of a body shot. I mean, this was a perfect, clean shot to the right of the rib cage, and here's another look.
Larry, tell us about this, please.
Well, it was just a sudden shot underneath the jab instead of over the jab. Through the first 3 rounds, Virgil Hill had been seeing Roy throw the punch, throw the right hand over the jab. This time he elected to throw it under the jab and just caught him in a very vulnerable spot.
What does it feel like, George? What does it feel like when you get hit there?
Boy, I tell you, there's nothing like it because it actually paralyzed your body for the second. All you're thinking about is recovering from the pain. And that's what he's thinking, how do I recover?
Okay.
It's not about defending yourself.
Champion, John, the Quiet Man, Ruiz. Ruiz, you already given the instruction in the dressing room. 2 things you must remember. Obey my commands at all times, and most important, protect yourself at all times. Any questions? Shake hands. Good luck to both of you.
There's a lot of interest in Tua because he comes out of that fabulous school of Marciano and Frazier and Tyson, that type of fighter, but he's going up against the best school of the young heavyweights out there. Ruiz, who is a stablemate, incidentally, of Lennox Lewis.
Hard left hand by Tua. Ruiz is rocked in the first 20 seconds of the bout. Down goes Ruiz. He takes a vicious left-hand shot on the way down, and it's unlikely he'll be getting up, and Tony Perez says enough.
Whoa! Well, Marciano, Frazier, and Tyson. Let me repeat that.
And Tua.
Well, I'm not ready to put Tua there yet, but that was sensational.
That was some performance, and
I mean, nobody has done that to Ruiz.
And I'm telling you, the shot that Ruiz took on the way down was dangerous looking.
Yes, it was.
So you can see now the medical attention that is being given to John Ruiz. And Ruiz is moving. And Tua, justifiably, is celebrating a knockout in less than 30 seconds. Maybe less than 20, I'm not really sure. Well, George?
Well, what happens when you get in with a shorter guy like that, you automatically underestimate the reach. He's able to get down and lean in, and he's taller than you think, so he catches you on the end of those shots. And that's what happened the first time. He got caught on the end of one of those left, I don't know if you want to call it a hook, but it was the left.
Yeah, Ruiz,
call it a hooker cut.
Ruiz is in some distress here.
The last shot was just, the referee couldn't do anything about it. The action just got away from everybody.
Right, it came too quickly while he was on his way down.
Yeah, normally what happens when a fighter reflexively throws at a guy who's going down like that, they usually miss. Because after all, you're going after a moving target. Yeah. It just happened that Tua landed about as flush as you can land.
You have to have a lot of bravery as a referee.
He's getting up. You know, this show is being shown down in New Zealand where it's 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, and I imagine there are a few people down there celebrating. There's the first left hook. And it's interesting what you said, George, about a fighter like this doesn't look as tall as he really is because of the way his body is built. People have a hard time believing, for example, that Mike Tyson is 5'11", yet we measured him one time, and when he's standing upright, indeed he is around 5'11". So he did underestimate his reach.
You think you stepped out of the range, but no, you have not.
Here's the punch that really did it. And that was a vicious, vicious punch.
And one more sickening look at the left-hand shot that caught Ruiz flush on the chin as he was going down, and we're just off.
Earlier in the fight, he was routinely throwing between 50 and 60 punches in each round.
Again, George's best punch is still that left jab. That's the one punch he's been able to score with. They just scored with it again. Can still snap a left jab out, but not do much else.
Moorer with a heavy shot on the hip from Foreman, and as he took that blow below the belt, Joe Cortez walked casually past Foreman and said, "George, don't do that." Right hand landed there, and another. And a right and a left, and suddenly Moorer stops punching, and it's Foreman's initiative.
And there's that competitive spirit of George is coming out again. He feels he's nailed Moorer with a good punch, and he's a good finisher. He knows how to do it, but he's in with a tough guy.
And remember, Atlas told Moorer George is going to try to find a moment here to steal the crowd and get them psyched up. That looked like it might have been it for a while, but now George stops punching again and takes jabs for his trouble. Foreman wading in to set up a left hook, and another left hook. And another left hook shot that missed.
George is so tired, though, Jim. If he misses a punch, he goes completely off balance. I have to give him all the credit in the world, but again, he's a 45-year-old man in a young man's game. But look at that competitive spirit coming out now.
Straight right hand landing for Foreman. He's had a pretty good round here in number 10. Down goes Moorer on a right hand. An unbelievably close-in right hand shot. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It happened. It happened. As referee Joe Cortez waved his arms over Moorer, George Foreman knelt in prayer in the neutral corner.
You know, this was a 2-to-1 fight, but in my mind it was a gazillion to 1 that George Foreman could ever win the heavyweight championship again. This is a really remarkable achievement, and it has to stand on its own. We're in a show and tell medium, and show does it all.
So some of the old power was still there after all.
It sure fooled me. Didn't show it in the entire fight where it came from.
Well, we mentioned that he was having a strong round. He had set up some blows, and then that right hand anesthetized Michael Moorer.
It sure did. And that's the one thing I said George couldn't do. He couldn't get you out with one punch. But boy, he sure fooled me and Michael Moorer.
It landed right on the point of the chin, Gil.
Right on the button where it says good night.
You see the blood welling up behind Moorer's lips as he momentarily went to sleep. The 68th man in 26 years to have fallen before the professional fury of George Foreman. So you got a 45-year-old heavyweight champion of the world. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official particulars.
In the MGM Grand, the impossible dream has happened. Heavyweight history has happened. Referee Joe Cortez reaches the count of 10. At 2 minutes, 3 seconds of round number 10, the winner, and once again, heavyweight champion of the world, Big George Floyd!
He's a bleeder.
All right, Teddy, thanks very much for joining us. Congratulations again on the Kirk Johnson victory.
Thank you very much.
Best of luck down the road, Teddy Atlas. Hitting his first shot tonight as trainer for Kirk Johnson and coming out with a big victory over Al Ice Cole. In round 4, Ibeabuchi's punch output dropped to 52, but he still landed 16 of them. Bird 16 of 48. That might have been a tough round to score. Now we go to the 5th.
Ibeabuchi's punches seem to be slowing a little bit now, Jim.
Well, that could be fatigue. You know, there was the long layoff after the victory over Tua, 16 months. He's won a couple of fights since then, but there have been inconsistencies in training. Curtis Coates, he's listening to in the corner tonight. There was a period of time while he trained for this fight when he wasn't with Coates, but rather was with Chuck McGregor. He only had one sparring partner, and he told us he didn't spar very much preparing for this fight at all. Some fighters these days don't believe in sparring a lot, and Ibeabuchi is one of them. Right hand shot by Ibeabuchi in retaliation in the middle of the ring.
Fortunately for Bird, it just missed him.
Don't be pushing on him now. Okay, here we go. Let's go to work.
The early body punches from Ibeabuchi has slowed Bird down too. Bird is not as nearly as elusive as he normally is in a fight like this.
You know, we were talking about the cut before. The importance of a cut in a fight like this, which can be very difficult to score, is that it shows graphically to the judges that one guy has been hurt with something.
Left hand. Bird in serious trouble. Ibeabuchi with a monster left hook. Followed it up to the right, and Bird for the second time in his career goes down. Trying to argue with the referee, Ron Rawl, about whether it was a knockdown, but come on, Chris, you got busted.
Oh, boy, he's out of here. He's hurting very bad. He doesn't even know where he is right now. He's trying to keep it down. He's hurt bad. He's hurt bad.
Round ticking down, 15 seconds left. He might make it out of the round. Here comes Ibeabuchi.
He'll never make it out of this round, Jim.
Hard left hook.
Stop the fight.
Oh, they can stop it. They can stop it right now.
What is Bird hollering for?
Stops it. Ron Rawl stops it. Ibeabuchi has knocked Chris Bird out.
A sensational victory for Ibeabuchi, and shame on Chris Bird. He was arguing with the referee from the moment he got knocked down. He claimed it wasn't a knockdown. It was a knockdown, and he never stopped pitching instead of fighting and protecting himself.
I think Ibeabuchi, Roy, just knocked him silly.
He knocked him silly. Chris Bird is really not aware of what went on. It's not that he's ignorant. He's not aware of what really was going on. He's not senseless right now. He doesn't have an idea of what's going on in his mind right now. He's still kind of senseless.
That left hook was as big a single punch blow as we've seen in a while in the heavyweight division.
Yes, it was.
Well, Chris Bird told us that he gets offended when he gets hit by a big punch. He must be very, very offended at the moment.
Ike Ibeabuchi closed the show, landing 19 of 36 power shots in that round. And what a spectacular job Ibeabuchi does in knocking out a man who was regarded as knockout proof. Here's the first knockdown, Roy. Here's the first knockdown, and check out this left hook. There's the right.
Was it the right or the left?
Well, the left set it up. The right was just as flush. Here's another look from a different angle.
Oh, yes, it was the left uppercut.
Yeah,
oh,
the left uppercut. From that point on, Bird was gone.
Yeah, Bird was really out of it right there. He was totally done.
Yep, I called it a left hook. With that angle, you can call it an uppercut. It was spectacular.
Man.
That's what Oscar De La Hoya used to do to smaller opponents. One shot like that, and they were out of there.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the big danger about fighting these big heavyweights. When you come up against one that can hit you with the big punch, are you going to be able to take it? That's where that 35-pound difference makes a difference.
And at that point, Ron Rawl elected to stop the fight and prevent any further punishment. Let's go. Round 8 of a scheduled 10 between Oleg Moskaev and Hasim Rahman.
I tell you, Rahman is using his left jab to nullify Moskaev's straight right hand very good tonight. Every time he sees that straight right hand come, he just sticks the jab out, and the right hand never hardly lands flush.
Moskaev lands a left hook. Rahman has been landing at a high rate for the last couple of rounds, both the body and the head.
Oh.
Right hand by Moskaev, and now Rahman wobbles. Rahman almost lost his legs there for a second. Regained them. Moskaev lands again. Rahman with a hook. They trade and trade, and Rahman holds on. That's exactly what Oleg Moskaev wants, and Rahman's legs are still wobbling.
More than half the round still to go.
Stop punching. Come on. Let's go.
Professional move by Rahman there, but he still doesn't have his legs.
Come on, get out. Come on, get out. Come on, let's go.
One of the questions in some fights about Rahman has been his stamina.
Right hand puts Rahman on the floor right next to me. Right next to me. Right next to me.
And he doesn't look like he's going to get up.
No, he isn't. He's not going to get up anytime soon. Let's just be sure we can make room for medical personnel. And Dr. Polito is right here.
He may have landed on his head.
He did, Larry. I tried my best to prevent it, but was unable to stop him from landing on his head. Let's get this out of the way. Dr. Dominic Coletto right here with Rahman.
There is a battle royal going on out here in the crowd.
The doctor is asking The Rock if he knows where he is, and he does. He's answering the questions correctly. He knows the round. He knows the opponent. But he went through the ropes, across the table, onto the floor. Harold, is there a rule that needs to be cited here?
Jim, let me tell you, you've got 20 seconds when you get knocked through the ropes like that. 20 seconds unassisted by your own people. He didn't get through in 20 seconds. I think Oleg Moskaev wins this fight by a knockout. That's all there is to it.
I have to assume that's going to be the call.
I'll tell you what, he was not going to get back to those ropes either because he was out from that one punch.
Yes, I believe so. That was a shot.
We don't know if any ruling has been made, but they're lifting Moskaev up.
Well, the overwhelming concern was about Rahman's safety and his condition after he came flying through the ropes, across the scorer's table, right past my monitor and onto the floor, inches away from me. I did the best I could with one hand to try to break his fall, but it was impossible, given the momentum of this big man. The CompuBox table has gone down behind us as well. Now Rock is up. Rock was courageously trying to survive the round without any legs.
Yeah,
and there's the shot.
Yes, that was over. That fight was done with right there. I hate to say it, but that fight was done with.
He had already survived about a minute of the round with no legs, Roy.
Yeah, that's right, and that's why you know that punch right there was it. And that's what I mean when I was telling Larry about taking chances. That really was a chance that he should not have taken.
And you see, that's your reporter leaning in from the top of the screen there, and that's Dr. Dominic Coletto. What an amazing statement on Coletto's alertness. He was there within seconds after Rockman hit the floor.
With a wild melee breaking out in the back of this convention hall auditorium, the police are there in force and seem to be making some order out of that chaotic moment and a half.
And we have no idea, of course, what prompted that combat, as our attention was diverted by the situation of
CompuBox numbers through 3 rounds say Moskaev has been the better jabber. 16 out of 58 to 7 out of 79 for Johnson. The jab was more key to Johnson's plan for winning the fight. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
Okay, Jim. I got it.
Hold it, Harold. We've got a knockdown. A big knockdown with a left hand by Kurt Johnson.
6, 7, 8. Oh, you all right? Big gloves. Put your hands up.
This is a whole new fight, Manny.
A left hook that came after the right hand, and no one was expecting a left hook. But this, once again, is going to be interesting to see if he can survive.
Moskaev goes through the ropes. Same place where he put Hasim Rahman last year in Atlantic City.
It's over.
And the referee stops the fight. And Kurt Johnson, who told us that he didn't think he could knock out Oleg Moskaev, does it with a huge left hand. I mean, a big one.
Well, we've talked about it, Emmanuel, endlessly about the left hook being the most devastating punch in boxing.
And particularly the left hook that comes after right hand, much like Mike McCallum hit Don Curry with, and Bob Foster knocked out Dick Tiger. Bob Foster knocked out Mike Corey.
Joe Frazier knocked down Muhammad Ali.
Yes,
with a left hook.
But particularly after right hand, you never see it when you throw a right hand. It comes off the blind side. And that was not so much it was a hard punch, but the fact that he didn't even see the punch. It would got to be a battle of right hands, right hands, right hands, and Kurt cheated a little bit to throw a left hook after he threw a right hand.
Well, he had Moskaev coming in aggressively, looking to throw the right, leaving himself a little bit open, and he is a quicker-handed fighter than Moskaev. So
I wonder if Curtis Coates asked for that left hook after the right hand. He's a pretty sweet fighter. He's pulled a few tricks himself.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think it got to be, as I said, a battle of right hands, and if someone threw a left hook, it was something that no one expected.
It was a beauty.
Matthew,
Larry Merchant headed into the ring. Kurt Johnson enhances his unbeaten credentials. Been waiting a long time for this man to emerge into stardom, and he might have done it with a big blow right there.
He did it tonight.
Oleg Moskaev was the man we were calling number 3 in the heavyweight division, partially because he knocked Hasim Rahman through the ropes in Atlantic City, and now it's Moskaev who gets to go through the ropes tonight. And let's take another look, Manny, and tell us again about how he set up the left hook.
Well, basically, he threw a right hand, which basically Moskaev was looking for all night, but he came back with a left hook, and that was something that he had not been throwing effective the last couple of rounds. And Moskaev, it wasn't so much that the punch was just hard, he didn't see the punch. And that's the worst punch in boxing, to get hit with, the punch you don't see.
As you say, Mike McCallum against Donald Curry, Bob Foster all those years ago.
Oh, it's the most dangerous punch in boxing, a left hook that follows the right hand.
Boom. Brilliant shot by Johnson. This is the man who said to us yesterday, I don't think I can knock Moskaev out. He proves himself wrong as he comes back to do more damage and just lands with lefts and rights until Oleg goes through the ropes.
Both fighters came in with a lot of determination in their eyes tonight, which, you know, and this is a fight that could have easily been a very boring fight, with Moskaev basically back and back like he has did in the past a lot, waiting for the perfect right hand. But he came out more aggressive, and Kurt Johnson just had a look in his eye when he came in, and he was just determined to not be denied tonight.
Down twice on that left hand. Got up, fell down again, finally got up and stayed up. Gutty effort by Duffy just to make it out of round 4. But he's been down twice in the fight.
He still continues to follow Trinidad around
and stand in front of him.
Jim, that's the kind of fighter he is. That's the kind of fighter that got him to this point. He can't change his way of fighting. He's got to be, either he's going to be stronger than Trinidad or Trinidad is going to be stronger than him. So far, we have the answer.
Trinidad doesn't look to hit you on the chin. He'll take anything, the side of the head, the ear, top of the head, under the head.
Well, we've seen him stop fighters with body punches as well.
He'll take any shot that you let him have.
Once again, Joppy building up a huge activity level in round 5. Remember, in round 3, he threw 116 punches. CompuBox confirms that's the most ever thrown against Trinidad in a single round of a fight they tracked.
Tito, watch the elbow. Come on now.
Never been a champion for so long who continues to work hard in the gym, road work, as Trinidad does. Continues to have the same desire to stay in shape.
Yeah, he loves it.
Simple man, simple life, great boxing style, left hook, right cross, Joppy's in trouble again. Trinidad throwing every shot with murderous intent.
He loves the knockout, he says.
Joppy just believes that he can do it. Take it and come back.
Joppy trading shots toe-to-toe with Trinidad.
This is the way they used to do it. The fight wasn't over until it was over. Joppy went down to the body.
2, 3, 4. That'll do it. I don't think Mercanti's going to let William Joppy continue. Felix Trinidad with a sensational knockout. Sensational performance by the greatest finisher in the sport. Fernando Vargas did in December, William Joppy made the mistake of thinking that he could trade punches with Felix Trinidad.
You just can't follow a puncher like that around. Joppy made the mistake in the first round to chase him, and he's tasted of that leather a lot sooner than he would have if he'd been a little more elusive.
Larry, here's a look at the knockout, and it came on right-hand punches this time.
Tito Trinidad may be the deadliest puncher in these divisions since Ray Robinson. He's like a pinpoint boxer who can thread the needle, but he does it with power.
I got no arguments with that. He can be mentioned right along with Ray Robinson.
Well, you talk about using your punches efficiently. By CompuBox numbers in the fight, Felix Trinidad landed 108 of 191, 57%, most of them power shots. Just a depth.
Unless it is the final round. There's the bell for the beginning of round 1. This WBC Super Welterweight Championship bout between Terry Norris and the champion, John the Beast Mugabi. Eddie Eckert is our referee here this afternoon, and terrible Terry Norris.
Norris in the all-white trunks on the left of your screen here. John Mugabi on the right with the black stripe.
Both fighters fighting out of the conventional stance, and Terry Norris wisely not wading right in, testing John Mugabi early. It behooves Norris to dance and box and use his skills as much as he can. A good left from Norris, and Mugabi is staggered. John Mugabi goes down. A left from Terry Norris drops John Mugabi. Mugabi is up and on Queer Street. Oh, this crowd is stunned. John Mugabi dropped his mouthpiece. Here's where Mugabe will need all the experience he has. Can he hang on? Terry Norris closing in on Mugabe, and Mugabe wisely holding on, Alex.
Only been down once before in his career against Marvelous Marvin Hagler, but he's in much worse trouble here.
It was a left from Norris. It caught Mugabe flush. And Mugabe does at least appear to be getting his legs back to a degree.
If somebody told you there was going to be a knockdown in round one, Dan.
Oh, and that right from Norris. You saw it stiffen the legs of Mugabe. And John Mugabe is helpless. Holding on.
Coming up on 1 minute left in the round. There is no 3 knockdown rule, and there is no standing 8 count. It looked like the referee could have given a standing 8 count there, but there is not in the WBC.
It is John Mugabe that has a track record of coming out of the blocks in a hurry. But this round is all Terry Norris. And now for Mugabe, it's just a question, can he survive?
And we should say that Terry Norris should be careful because he can still win punches.
And 2 good left hooks from Mugabe, but Norris comes right back. This is clearly a pro-Mugabe crowd. John lived here in Tampa for a number of years. Oh, and that right from Terry Norris. And John Mugabe will not get up. Terry Norris with the right finishes it here in round 1. Terry Norris, the new WBC Super Welterweight champion.
When he first fought for the title, he was the victim of a second-round knockout. Today, he made the most feared puncher perhaps in boxing, the victim.
John Mugabe still on the canvas. The official time, 2 minutes and 47 seconds of the first round. And John Mugabe up against the ropes. The first punch, Alex, that left, and then it was the last one was a right.
I started to say during the round, if somebody told you there was going to be a first-round knockout in this fight, who would have ever believed that the victim was going to be John Mugabe?
Well, we are the beneficiaries in respect of this early knockout. That's because we're going to bring you next the IBF WBC Junior Welterweight Championship. That from Las Vegas. That's Julio Cesar Chavez and Melvin, the new champion now.
Try for a title was a disaster. You're well ahead. You got caught with a punch in the second round. This time it was you that put the power on the opponent.
Well, I made sure this time that I was going to be on the other end of this. You know, I took Jackson for granted after the first round after I beat him half to death the first round.
You're talking about your fight against Julian Jackson.
Julian Jackson, you know, I knew. But then I got careless. And then he caught me with a good shot.
Let's take a look at the action in round 1. I think it started off, Terry, with a left hook. This is early in round 1. First minute of the round. There, that left hook on his temple, and his legs were gone at that point. What were you thinking right here?
Take him out. Go ahead and take him out.
Were you fearful? Were you respecting his power still at this point, or were you just thinking about getting him out of there?
Yeah, I did anticipate that he still had the power because when he was throwing, I could feel the power when he was coming over me and riding me down. So I just went on, you know, and tried to put my combinations together.
This is the second knockdown, Terry.
Well, that right there, I set him up with the right hand. Plop, right there. There it is. Right, straight right hand. That clocked him right there.
Was there any doubt in your mind?
Again, there was the Roy Jones left hook. He never sets it up with the jab. He just comes in with it, but he's so quick. I've never seen a guy that can land left hooks from the outside the way Roy Jones can.
He's Oscar Peterson with boxing gloves.
Now Brandon's going to make this. Look at how calm Jones is in there. Hands up, blocking punches. Look.
Well, Brandon's just pounding away at Jones's arms and gloves. I mean, at least it gives him the right to throw a lot of punches, which not too many people can do against Jones. But he's getting hit so much in return.
He's nailed Jones with a couple of right hands. But again, it doesn't seem to bother Roy at all.
Give Brandon credit for standing in. He's a hard man who's done hard time, and he's worked hard to get to this point.
He's a very appealing guy. Wonderful personal turnaround in his life. Kind of person you can root for. Jones in the first round, after that relatively slow start when pinned to the ropes by Brannon's rush, threw 102 punches.
Again, they're wide punches by Brian Brannon, and Jones is picking them off with his arms.
Easy to see them coming. They lose their power over that extended arc.
Every punch is being blocked by Roy Jones. And he lets the guy throw his punches, and he says, okay, now it's my turn. Left hook again. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Well, we said earlier he had a bullet lodged in his neck. Now he's got a bomb there.
The Trenton crowd can't believe what they're seeing. They were so psyched for the possibility of Bryant putting up a big fight against Roy Jones. And their man is just getting hammered in there now. Ron Lipton watching as Roy Jones tattoos Brannon. And then Jones says, look, you want more? Okay. A convincing case.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you.
You want to ask again who's the best fighter in the world?
No, I don't have to ask that. Well, he stepped away and looked at Lipton as though he didn't want to hurt Brannon and said, must I do this? And Lipton says, yes, you must. And Roy says, okay. And he starches the guy. How about that, Larry?
Well, I thought one of the qualifications for the best fighter pound for pound in the world is that a fighter has to be willing to fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. I question that about Roy Jones in his recent fights. But after a performance like this against a brave, tough guy, you know, we saw what we saw. There's nobody else who can do this.
What an incredible gift. You can't teach the stuff that Roy Jones does, Gil.
No, I've never seen like triple left hooks, 7 left hooks in a row, so quick and so accurate. I mean, it's unbelievable. And he just seems to have so much confidence in himself. Even when Brannon came out the way he came out, it didn't bother him a bit. Stayed calm.
The second round, Gil. Now let's watch this. I thought it was a flurry of left hooks with a left hook as the decisive punch, but there might have been a right hand in there too. Left, left, left,
yeah.
Boom.
Left uppercut, double left hook, right on the button. How many fighters do you know that can do that? There's the left uppercut, left hook, left hook. I mean, absolutely unbelievable. There's a new combination that he just invented.
And each punch with power. None of them taps.
And they're short, to the mark.
Now here's the second knockdown. This is after Jones has looked at... Now there he looks at Lipton. You see that?
Yeah.
What do you want me to do, ref? Oh, okay. Fine. What the heck? Boom.
Here you can see Brannon doesn't have a leg under him. There's no reason why this fight had to go on. I mean, Jones could see it. I don't know why the referee couldn't see it.
For him to be this that training.
I think more people will go to that kind of style, perhaps. Here we are in the 11th round. Tony's come on strong in the 8th and 9th. Had a good 10th as well. You know, it wouldn't be popular, but strategically it would be in Nunn's behalf to dance away for a couple of rounds and not try to mix it up with Tony.
Well, that's what Dundee wants him to do. He says he wants him to pop, move. He says you're too smart for this guy. Don't reach for him. Don't get caught by stupid punches like you did with those counter right hands, because he was reaching with his left.
Tony really teeing off on that. And Tony swings and misses, and both of them on the ropes. Tony nearly went flying over. Oh, ends up with a right hand.
Tony's got a high ratio of knockouts in his 20-some-odd fights, and Michael Nunn's proven he can take a great shot because he's got him.
And pushes Nunn into the ropes.
Well, just as I said, he took a great shot. He got hit with a great right hand and went reeling back, but I think it was more off balance.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Joe, but it was a good hand. Oh, another right from Tony. Oh, he's down! Just the second time in his career.
He is out. He is hurt. I don't know if he's going to get out. He is out of his feet. That is it. I don't see him getting up. Oh, my God.
He's up at 10.
What a great left hand.
Challenger.
Oh.
Down.
That is it. How can he stop it? That's it. The fight's over. James Toney wins the title. Unbelievable. What a left hook he got caught with. Oh, my. Well, that was the only way he was going to win this fight, Len. James Toney is so exhausted, he can't believe it. He is out cold as much as none is right now. They got to drag him off the floor.
James Toney is the IBF middleweight champion of the world, stunning previously undefeated Michael Nunn. Nunn losing for the first time in his hometown here, his first loss in his 37 professional fights.
It was that dogged pursuit by James Toney. He didn't give up. He never stopped. He listened to his corner, and Nunn didn't. He got sloppy at the end.
And this crowd is standing
stops as this fight is going on.
And as Gonzalez has tired in front of him, it's gotten easier and easier. Now Gonzalez goes back to pumping the jab, which is what gave him success in the first round and a half.
Gonzalez has to get his rest in the middle of the ring. Can't go back to the rope and lay there and rest. And it's easy to do that. Just go out there and hold your opponent.
Tim Witherspoon told us yesterday that he lost several days of training because of lower back problems created when his special orthotic shoe inserts wore down and failed to give him the proper support. So now Gonzalez's corner has been telling Jorge Luis, hey, this guy missed 10 days of training. You ought to be able to wear him out.
I wonder how many days of training Gonzalez missed. He might have been depressed by hearing that.
Now the referee, he shouldn't break until the referee tells him step back and break. That's the way you get your energy level back up.
Gonzalez trying a long uppercut. And Witherspoon just misses with a close-in right uppercut that could have done a lot of damage if he'd had it on target. Now here comes the overhand right.
Yep. You can't miss. His back is on the rope. Throw it. It's going to hit something. You can always get some kind of pay dirt.
Almost as though Tim Witherspoon's listening to you in there, George Foreman. When he gets Gonzalez against the ropes, he throws left hook, overhand right.
And Gonzalez got so much potential. He's got so much ability. Just wonder why in the world won't you just stand out there and box?
Another hard overhand right by Witherspoon. He has got that thing mercilessly on target. Left hook lands again, too. I wonder how many overhand rights Gonzalez will want to take. Witherspoon may not have the power of a Riddick Bowe, but he has this thing dialed in. Corner, and Tim Witherspoon celebrates a devastating fifth-round TKO.
Remember, Jim, when he told us how he loved to chop wood, loved to hear the chopping of the wood, loved to see the wood splinters fly. He was chopping wood there in the corner.
That was old-fashioned stuff, George. Jorge Luis Gonzalez absorbs the second knockout loss of his career, and you suspect that barring some dramatic change in his life, we're not going to see him at this level of the heavyweight division again.
It's pitiful, too, because it's all because of a lack of proper strategy. This guy has a lot of ability, a lot of strength, took some good punches, stood on his feet.
Well, let's watch the finishing sequence here, George, and you'll see Witherspoon landing a withering series of overhand rights and left hooks.
All the same punches over and over. This guy Gonzalez cannot get out of the way of something as redundant as the same punch.
Look at where his left hand is. Got his left hand down below his waist, even in an infighting situation where he ought to be trying to protect himself.
Even up top, if you just put your hands up, you just make him hit your punches, your gloves. Believe me, this guy Gonzalez just needs a trainer.
Well,
same punch over and over.
Probably too late to get it now, and he provided Tim Witherspoon with a relatively easy fight tonight.
Never too late. Never too late.
Witherspoon wins for the 45th time in his career. And now let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 2 minutes, 54 seconds of round number 5. The winner by knockout victory, showing he is still one of the most dangerous heavyweights in the division. He is terrible. Tim Witherspoon.
You're winning the fight. You're winning. Keep the distance. You have to fight and keep the distance. Keep away from this man.
Here's a knockdown. He went down, it seemed, voluntarily from a right that landed somewhere between the waist, Roy, and the armpit. It wasn't real low. It might have hit him in the ribs.
Those are excellent left body shots.
Folks, when you see fights like the ones we've had in this series, it redeems all the bad stuff you ever hear about boxing. What we're seeing is the pure spirit and skill of terrific athletes.
Noble stuff. Our interpreter, Hector Garcia, says that between rounds they asked Wilson Rodriguez why he went down, and he said, he hurt me to the ribcage. I think it was the left hook to the ribcage. 9-8 there on Letterman's card because the point was taken away for low blow.
If Gotti keeps doing what he's doing now, he may have a great chance of coming back and stopping this guy soon.
You see the blood trickling from the left nostril of Wilson Rodriguez. Gotti's left eye is more open now than was the case 2 rounds ago.
All of that is from excellent work in the corner.
Unsung heroes of the sport, the cut men. Joe Souza's a hero tonight in Gotti's corner. Al Gavin did it for Junior Jones in the earlier bout. Gotti's left hook just continues to zone in. Referee Wayne Kelly was behind Rodriguez when Gotti hit him with 2 more blows below the belt.
The one thing that amazes me is that every time Gotti hits Rodriguez in the face, it seems like it has no effect.
But the body punches are taking their toll.
They are wearing him down.
Crowd is lifting Arturo Gatti, keeping him alive in a fight in which he could easily have been gone by now. Straight right hand.
And another body shot that hurt Rodriguez.
Down goes Rodriguez. What a left hook. He won't make it up from that.
No way.
No. Arturo Gatti. How about that? Comeback win.
Happens in this fight, coming back from those 2 first-round knockdowns. I don't think any of us imagined that we'd still be here after that first round.
And in round 3, Stewart was the busier fighter and landed more punches than Moore. And you heard the men in Moore's corner saying, you've abandoned the jab, go back to it. He landed 57 jabs in the first 2 rounds and then unaccountably laid on the ropes and allowed Stewart to hit him in the third. Then they go back to the ropes again.
Stewart has got a 5-year-old daughter. Told me she'd be watching him today. He's going to put on his best effort. Daddy, get up, that kind of stuff, you know.
Well, Stewart's wife and daughter were at ringside for the Tyson debacle, and he thought it was a distraction to have them there. There's a solid left hand from Moore, and again the blood begins to flow on the bridge of the nose for Alex Stewart.
Moore is indeed a good puncher for any weight. Shouldn't be any doubt in his mind that he can punch.
Solid body punch from Stewart with the right hand. He pins Moore against the rope.
Michael! Let him up. I got you. Let him up. Step back. Alex, step back.
Emmanuel Stewart up on his feet, shrieking at Moore to come back to the center of the ring. Slowly, Moore does it. And now, with blood flowing from Moore's nose, he resumes the attack at center ring. A lot of blood on Stewart's face.
Looks like a new cut.
And Moore scores twice with the uppercut, and Stewart is down again.
Boy, that's a knockout.
2, 3, 4, 5.
He's going to get up again.
7.
A lot of blood from over the right eye. I think it's too bad to continue. Yeah. Good stoppage.
Knockout.
Good stoppage by referee Chris Wallison.
Well, you don't see many heavyweight fights like that one, George.
No, and it's because Stewart decided, I'm going to win this. I've got a chance.
Yeah.
And it called for a good fight.
Again, high marks to him coming back from a devastating humiliation at the hands of Mike Tyson. To be able to fight this well, fight this hard, I should say. And also the highest marks to Moore, because it looked there for a moment that he had found that the heavyweight division was a little too heavyweight for him.
Well, in essence, this is reminiscent of Stuart Holyfield, isn't it? As Evander Holyfield was able to rock Alex Stewart. Stewart showed his courage, came back in the middle rounds to briefly command that fight, and then lost because he cuts and he bleeds. Same thing happened here. Fourth round action.
Yeah, the left hand hurt him, the right hand finished him. That right hand, once again, the right hand was the finishing punch in this fight for Michael Moore. And also high marks to him, because he went in with a big, strong, well-conditioned, determined man who put him on the defensive, and Moore found a second win and came back and dominated the fight.
Moore is no doubt a future champion.
Those two right uppercuts tend to put you in mind of a fellow named Mike Tyson at his best.
Gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, Nevada, and an evening of HBO World Championship Boxing. It's all brought to you by Cedric Kushner Promotions in association with your undisputed, undefeated king of beer, Budweiser. The contests are sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The 3 judges assigned to this bout, scoring it on the 10-point must system at ringside, will be Chuck Jampa, Dave Moretti, and Dalby Shirley. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Tony Weeks. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our co-featured bout of the evening. 2 big men scheduled for 10 rounds. This is in the heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing purple trimmed with silver and weighing in at 260 pounds. His professional record stands at 25 victories, including 15 knockouts with 2 losses and 3 bouts even. From Port Jefferson, New York, ladies and gentlemen, here is Jamil Big Time McCline. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white, trimmed with red, and weighing in at 254 pounds. He has a professional record consisting of 31 victories, including 22 knockouts with only 1 defeat. From Norristown, Pennsylvania, one of the world's top heavyweight contenders, Michael Graham.
Okay, here we go. Come on, Mike. Okay, you already received your instructions in the dressing room. I want a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourselves at all times. Okay, Dave, look,
It goes right here, it's okay. Anything below here is going to be low. Or right here is okay. Anything below here is low. Or any questions? Let's go.
Jim, virtually the only betting on these fights tonight has been against Michael Grant. He opened at 9-1. The odds have been bet down to about 5-1 because of the Lewis fight, because of the 15 months of inactivity, because of the 2 operations. If ever...
And because of that. That is the 7th time in his last 3 fights that Michael Grant has tasted canvas.
You know his body is bone dry, not one drop of sweat on his shoulders.
Okay, here we go.
Now he has shown he can get up in the past, but he is hurt. He is dazed badly.
It was a single left hook by McCline, the first punch of the fight that got Grant in trouble. Now he was in similar trouble early against Galata and managed to weather the storm. But Grant is wobbling and he's complaining that his leg is hurt. Remember, he had a torn ACL.